Greetings, my name is Sumitiper and welcome to the ACERVO Season 3 finale. So, fiction, huh? Quite the genre. Or format? I have to say that I have enjoyed it honestly. I haven't looked back at the episodes with regret or disdain. Sure, there could have always been some improvements, and at times I have fallen into old habits, but that's the thing about life. Sometimes you fall and you need to pick yourself back up again. This season has felt much more productive than season 1 and 2. It also has been a slight failure when it comes to adhering to imaginary places. Not that there wasn't anything imaginary, everything was fiction after all, but rather the places part. Some stories have had very solid locations, some haven't, and others absolutely not. To cover my ass, I will say that place can also be used for your state of mind and the state of your surroundings, be it static or dynamic. Now, as I have done with the two previous seasons, I will write some of my opinions regarding each episode. Episode 1: Comfortable Dreams. Still shaking off the non-fiction before being able to fit into fiction. It wouldn't have fit in season 1 or 2, but definitely isn't the fiction I so overhyped. Sorry if this disappointed you. To me, this was alright. Episode 2: The Pain of Forgetting. Starting outside of fiction, but then going into fiction. It could have been better, and in my opinion, I wrote better stories regarding the mind later. It is in no way garbage, but it failed to hold up to my stupid standards. Episode 3: Abyss of Fog. I loved this one. The atmosphere and ambient were my favorites, and I could have written so much more about the setting of this story. I adapted an old story I had lying around. Literally, it was on a pile of other papers, and made out of it gold. Episode 4: Mysterious Machinery. Disappointment. Here's a lesson for you. If you ever have a brilliant idea, write it down because you will not remember it later. The original idea was amazing, but I had forgotten it by the time of penning it down, so it all became a dull description slideshow. Episode 5: City in the Clouds. Steampunky. Hopefully that came across. In the original iteration of the story, it would have all been a dream inside the inventor's mind, but I hate the "it was all a dream" stuff, and I felt it would be too mean and cause mental anguish to the poor inventor, so I left it out. Episode 6: In the Trees and Grass. A fallback against fiction. It was not properly fiction. It is absolutely not bad, but it doesn't fit, and there is no excuse to go back to non-fiction this late in the season. It is my incompetence, and I take full responsibility for it. Episode 7: Nightmares. I probably should have called this one Nightmare to make it more coherent. It was good and had gore. I'm an enjoyer of horror. Sorry if you aren't, because then you must have hated this episode. Episode 8: Rotting in the Trenches. What I think is one of my best works. As in episode 3, I described the ambience. In this one, I describe the scenario. The great-grandfather is a tragic character that I wished to explore more. The anti-war message is something that would have come out of loads of veterans' mouth. There is no medal that will bring back my friend. Episode 9, Barely Holding On. For an episode recorded while sick, this one is outstanding. The slow unraveling of the mind and the determination to maintain the grasp on reality no matter how hard it is. It would have been really easy to fall down into insanity when your mind is frail and you are bottling stuff up. Massive props to the character, and I hope he finds some peace. Episode 10, Ocean of Lights. A bit sad and a bit unfulfilling from my part. I guess that it is the consequence of having adored the previous two episodes. Sometimes letdowns happen, and that's okay. It is certainly not bad, but I could have most definitely done better with this one. And so we end. This season, of course. That was the review. In general, this season was good, even though it wasn't entirely imaginary in either places, but that doesn't matter. I'm happy to see improvement in my writing and I'm happy for the future to come. Hopefully I will be less hurried by outside events during the next season. I hope you enjoyed this video. This has been Sumitiper, and thank you so much for watching.